Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. In today's video, as you see behind me, we're going to be talking about a snow tractor here. So we have the LX2990 with a fancy blade or fancy front snowblower, pretty standard sander, but we're going to be talking about the whole package and bringing it to you in a working shop. So we apologize ahead of time if there's some extra noise or some people walking through. It is an ongoing project. So stick with us and we'll start talking about the LX4020. Okay, so we're talking about a snow tractor today. So we have the LX4020. This package will be the first time it's gone together for Kubota Canada with this LX2990 front blade and then the rest. How do we know that? Is because it's not really meshing together. We have this blade that's supposed to be going on here, but it was designed originally for a 10 series. That's why there's a holdup, and that's why we're doing this video, because it's pretty awesome to talk about, but there's some changes and stuff that we'll dive into whenever we start talking about that blade. But to back it all up is what we're actually here today to do, is to talk about this amazing package. You're not going to see it everywhere in North America. You're not going to see it everywhere in Canada. It's very specialized. It is for doing sidewalks. So we've sold this package a number of times now to kind of replace those holders. You know, those are very expensive packages where you're probably north of 200,000 now to do sidewalks. Whereas a package like this, you're going to be in that you know, that $75,000 to $85,000 range, depending on the exact setup. So that's why it's very attractive to municipalities and stuff, and for the snow blowing of the world. Limited the cost as well as still deliver an amazing package so that you can move that snow. The neat thing about doing sidewalks is you're not moving the snow 30 feet. You're literally moving the snow about 6 feet. You're going from here to there, and something bigger is going to take it all away. It doesn't require huge amount of horsepower. What it requires is some pretty narrow equipment. You know, there's a lot of different ways to move that snow from here to there, and we really believe in this package here that Kubota offers, and that's why we've been selling it for a few years now. And then let's dive into it now, talking about this 4020 here and what it delivers. So whenever we start talking about the narrow packages from Kubota and what they start with, is the best package we found so far is the LX one. So it's awesome now that we're going up to 40 horsepower. We were doing it before with the 3310, so now we can do it either 3520 or the 4020. Most commercial guys will skip right to the 4020. No argument from them, as they always love horsepower. So outside of that, whenever we start at the front here, this is a standard quick hitch. There's nothing different about this than what you're going to see for that 63-inch front snowblower. The rest of the blades will all go onto here. So very standardized there. And again, it is for a 20 package. So what's changed is just the PTO mount, or PTO length, I should say, and then how it mounts the rear. But standard quick hitch that you get for any of the LX tractors. Obviously, we really like the grill inserts here. Maybe not overly needed for doing commercial snowblowing whenever you get into it. We just like the look of it, and it does avoid any issues out front here, because you never know what you're going to run into. Whenever you get up into the 40 horsepower LX, what it's going to deliver for you is the most horsepower in the narrowest package. These are the R14, so it bumps this tractor out to roughly 56 inches wide. The products we're going to be talking about today are 55. You're like, well, that doesn't really work. The customer does want to try these and see. He's not too concerned about going around corners and stuff where you're going to lose a couple inches of we're going to leave a little bit of snow kind of idea. He's more concerned about fitting in. So what you would normally see whenever you're trying to get as narrow as possible is ag tires. So that's going to really narrow this tractor to actually under 50 inches to work with these products here today that we're talking about. So normally ag tires, and we always stud them as well to really give you that extra traction whenever you're dealing with you know, whether it be snow or ice kind of idea. Some of the packs we've done also includes the industrial tires. They work fine too. They will still stay narrower than the blade and the front snowblower. So that's kind of a quick spiel about the tires. A few different choices there, depending on what you're looking for to really get as narrow as possible, or just have multiple uses for this. Because some of these tractors, because you have this extra horsepower and stuff, and you can pop a loader on this, you can use it in the summer and stuff, so landscapers really like that as well. So, you know, snow removal in the winter, landscaping in the summer after that. So we'll jump back to the cab and kind of talk about what's going on here with this what we need to do to make this blade and snowblower function. Skipped around to inside the cab here. Again, it is the new 4020, so kind of a redesigned cab. We've got some overviews on that, kind of touching base on what's all going on here. But let's just talk about the hydraulics for this loader here. So as you can see, we already have the third function installed on here. And that's going to be dealing mostly with the snowblower. That's why it is on here. And you're like, oh, it's all nicely installed and tie wrapped. That's correct. We will be now, because well, you finish that installation, then you kind of remove back and work yourself back to installing this blade here, because this is what goes on. So it's kind of a neat thing, because this is, you know, like basically a 6-way blade. So what you're going to have is up and down on the loader for the blade, standard, you know, whether it's a snowblower or anything up front. And then it also goes left to right, so your standard will be left to right on here. And then whenever you need to angle it in or back, there's a diverter right there. So you press that in and then go in and out on that. So that's how you get all 6 ways on one joystick on that. So it's kind of interesting, and that's how you kind of work yourself back, because then this switch for the snowblower will then have to be incorporated into this. So there's a lot going on there with the hydraulics. You'll see right here, it's like, oh, there's not a whole lot going on yet. There will be. You'll see some hydraulic lines coming up to it. And it'll be interesting to see whenever it is all done, what is all going on and how it all functions. So it's just not something you're going to see at your local dealership, but something interesting to bring to you. So now let's jump to actually talking about this LX2990 municipal blade. This is the LX2990 municipal blade. It's making its grand entrance onto YouTube, onto pictures. I mean, you could, before this video comes out, you could Google this, you could go on to Kubota Canada's website, Kubota worldwide. You are never going to find a picture, a diagram, any information on this blade. They've been selling it for a number of years, but absolutely zero information out there of how it operates, how it looks. So this is a grand welcoming for everybody out there. It is way over-engineered, it is amazing, but it is spectacular, it's awesome. Like I said, it's completely over-engineered and it works. It moves snow like there's no tomorrow. And how does it do that? It just, like you can see, it is completely curved here, all reinforced. It's got a trip blade under there. It's got 4 springs. It is got hydraulic cylinders in there that you'd probably find, you know, the same size ones on a 7060 sitting over there. It absorbs impact. It's not going to break first, you know. Not that any of our operators have hit anything too big yet. It's going to come up, but we haven't seen what it's done to the tractor. We've only seen what it's done to the blade, and it hasn't even left a mark. So it's a pretty astounding thing. So again, it is 6-way, so again, it will fold right in, fold right out. So come back on an angle, and all go that way, all go that way. It's whatever you kind of want, whatever way you need that snow to move, it can do it. And now it has the horsepower. Again, we were doing these on the 3310s, now we got an extra 7 horsepower there. So it just moves this blade, as I was just joking about with Kyle as well, is if you buy the commercial 60-inch blade from Kubota for a Grand L, it actually only comes up to about here on it. So this blade is just humongous. It's just awesome. Whenever you narrow it all the way back, it even has these stoppers here, so you don't have to worry about catching anything. You can adjust that to stop wherever you kind of need, so you're not going to wreck anything. You'll also see a big hydraulic bank here with a bunch of diverters here, because there is a lot going on here very quickly. It's super. You know, it's even got on here, it can rotate on top of that. Just to do everything you're looking for. So it is a pretty spectacular blade that you are never going to see in stock at a local dealership. You're just going to see it in action, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. And you can probably tell from the way I'm talking about it and kind of repeating myself, it's neat. It's not something you're going to see out there, and I enjoy talking about things like this, because it's just not something that even myself get to see on a daily basis. So again, these show up in up here, we install them and they're gone. You know, you just never really see them again. So yeah, so hopefully we get some B-roll of this and show it all to you, and then hopefully before this tractor goes, we'll be able to actually show it and actually working for you. So let's jump now and talk about the front snowblower on this thing. Okay, so now we jump to the rest of the package kind of idea. So we have the K51 front snowblower here. So it's very similar to what you're going to see on the K64, just kind of shrunk down to work with this unit for sidewalk application here. So again, it's got the 3-piece chute up here. You're going to have the hydraulic rotate as well as deflector. The way we did it without that selector valve in there is with the third function, because that's what Kubota is going to tell you is a selector valve. Once you have a selector valve in there, in that cab as well as that blade, you're going to looking at 7 or 8 switches in there to make everything go. And you're like, well, you only have a blade or a snowblower on at a single time. That's correct, but you're going to have multiple operators, generally speaking, whenever you have a large organization with moving commercial snow. So if we can keep it as simple as possible in that cab, that you know, we get it down to about 5 functions in there between the two, and maybe even lower than that. It just makes everything easier for everybody to operate. So nice slick package there. Again, we strongly recommend when you're going commercial is go third function package and not the selector valve. But again, nice package. It's again hooks up to the same quick hitch there. Nothing new about that, and then it's just kind of a standard. What we have to do too is to work with those tires is put the extension package on here, so it bumps it from 51 inches out to 54. If you get into really deep snow, you may want to incorporate some sort of marker up top to like what do they call that, a drift cutter, potentially. But again, whenever you're doing sidewalks, you're not going to come across anything more than 10, 15 centimeters at a time in the commercial world of things. So, but some guys do like that with the drift cutters. So then we just start talking about the sander here. It is just a standard drop sander. Nothing overly exciting. It is PTO driven, and it comes from Bauman, which is made in Southern Ontario here. You'll see quite a few of these in the commercial application. They do make a great sander. They make them hydraulic drive, a few different applications too. They make a nice one for the F series. We've been selling them for about 5 or 6 years, and there's nothing overly exciting about a sander, but these just work when you want them to, and they drop sand and salt as needed. So pretty awesome package, as you can see. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the LX2990, what all that municipal blade can do for an organization, as well as hearing about the 4020 and that front snowboard with the K51. So it's a pretty awesome package. You're going to probably see it out there, especially in our area up here in Renfrew County. We got a number of them out there working and doing sidewalks, but in and out there, hopefully it starts catching on and you'll see them at other places. But pretty awesome package, and I was very excited to bring it to you. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please down below. Thank you.